Starfield is one of the most in-depth RPG experiences I've ever seen when it comes to creating your character. So in-depth that it could take you a half hour just to create your character because of all the customization options. There is a bit of a controversy going on right now on social media in regards to Starfield, because at the end of your character creation, it forces you to pick pronouns for your character. The traditional pronouns that we see thrown everywhere these days with the politically correct society that we have today. There's a bit of a controversy, especially after a viral video from HeelvsBabyface blew up all over the internet. They went on a very passionate and overwhelming rant, some might even call it a meltdown, where he just exploded over the option that was forced on you that you have to select pronouns for your character. On top of that, Dr. Disrespect revealed that he got rejected for a review copy of Starfield because of his previous association with Nick Merckx in Activision, where Nick Merckx was labeled transphobic when it came to the whole ideology being put into schools. We touched on all this as it happened live, but now we're touching on the Starfield thing in regards to the whole pronoun situation. Let me get this right off the bat. I really don't care about the pronoun situation. I just glanced over it, chuckled, cringed a little bit, and was like, yikes, that's kind of cringe that they added this into a game. And also, this isn't the first time this year that we've had a game put pronouns inside of the character options. Baldur's Gate 3 just had it not long ago. And to be honest, it seemed kind of quiet. Nobody really talked about it in Baldur's Gate. And I think a lot of it is because of this HeelvsBabyface rant that just went viral. I mean, the impressions on this clip went nuts. And let's be honest, a lot of it is because there's a backlash towards this gentleman and his passionate rant. He has all the freedom of speech in the world to act the way that he wants to towards this thing. Because to be honest, I'm tired of this stuff being enforced in a lot of our stuff. It's already in our movies, our TV, our music, and it's getting into our games. And if you've been following my channel in the last year or so, I've been talking about woke culture and how they're pushing all these types of different agendas towards us. In regards to Starfield, it is a little bit different. It's a video game that is an RPG. They added the pronouns in there to have a huge variety of customization options for your characters. It's a role play element. If players want to create a character and they want it to be addressed properly in dialogue, you're going to have pronouns. Unfortunately, whether you like them or not. As much of a cringe as I think it is that it's in here, I can see where it adds to the immersion when it comes to dialogue trees, when it comes to how NPCs interact with your characters, when it comes to the lore behind your character. Like, there's people out there that really take role-playing to another level, and they take it serious, and they want as much detail as possible. But the problem with this whole pronoun thing isn't the fact that it's woke or that it's some kind of weird thing that they're throwing into the game. It's the fact that every single other bit of customization option in this game is completely optional, and there's an option to not do it or do it in regards to everything except this pronoun. When you're creating your character and you're finalizing it, it forces you to select pronouns when there's no option to just not have a I'd rather not say or an opt-out. And there's people out there, really? Who gives a fuck about this, Eric? Who cares? Really, it's just pronouns. People are just getting stupid and triggered over this like snowflake crybabies. That's not the point, but people should have an option, especially when it comes to customization, to choose what they want. And if they don't want this pronoun nonsense, there should be an option to not have it. There's people on Twitter saying that they want to refund this game. That's their right, guys. Whether you agree with them or not, whether you want to call them a bigot, whether you want to call them triggered, they have every right to be like, yo, I don't want to fuck with this game because it's forcing this whole modern ideology towards us. It's supposed to be a sci-fi experience about space travel, exploration, going out there to the great unknown. Space, the final frontier. And instead, they're focusing on putting identity politics in it. That's the problem. It's tiring to have to deal with that. That doesn't make me a bigot to speak my mind and say that I don't want identity politics in my stuff, that it's cringe, that it takes the immersion out, and that I want an option to not have to have pronouns. Was HeelvsBabyface's reaction a little bit over the top? Sure. but it made for great entertainment in my opinion. I was watching it laughing my ass off. And I love the guy's content. I think he's a great content creator. I don't think he's a bigot. I feel his pain. It's being injected into everything. But then let's talk about the Dr. Disrespect thing. He wanted to cover Starfield and set up some kind of early access promotion and work, and he got rejected by Bethesda. That's the problem. It seems like Bethesda went out and picked and chose who they wanted to support the game. The reason why Dr. Disrespect trended is because when he was creating his character, he saw the pronouns and said, okay, that explains it. Because of the whole situation with Nick Merckx was about the whole issue with children and transgender and all that stuff. We touched on that slippery slope a while back. Dr. Disrespect just saying, oh, that explains why they didn't want me to be involved with promoting this game in early access, was just him speaking his mind. Did he attack anybody? Was there any hate behind it? No. Yeah, these rants from Dr. Disrespect and HeelvsBabyface and people on Twitter are being met with a lot of backlash. And again, like I said, having more options in RPGs is great. It adds to the immersion however style you want to play. I'm all about accessibility in an RPG game. But the fact that there wasn't an option to not use pronouns is what's concerning, because you give people an inch, they take a mile. And some people might think, oh, Eric, you're just acting over dramatic over it. No, because later on the line, let's say video games made 10 years from now, what else are they going to force upon us that we don't get an option to say yes or no to? There's a bigger picture here, and I know right now a lot of you guys really don't care. To me, it's not as big of a deal for me to go and get angry and throw things and all this and that. I'm just really relating to what the issue was when it comes to this. I think it's cringe. And to be honest, if it was flipped the other way around and there wasn't an option for pronouns, you know that these people laughing at HeelvsBabyface would be crying about not having options to put pronouns for your characters. The same amount of hypocrisy that one side is calling the other side would show the same display here. That's the issue. I think it should be the same all around for everybody, because to be honest, I'm enjoying Starfield. Sure, it got 7 out of 10s. People think it's average. People think it's boring and slow. I think I'm about 12 hours in right now, and I'm enjoying it. The game is really opening up. I'm flying around. I'm exploring planets. I'm getting the powers. I'm doing side quests. I'm killing NPCs. I'm getting a whole bunch of power-ups. I just got another ship. It's a fantastic fucking game. To be honest, it really didn't need the option for pronouns. It's there for people who want to be immersed with the RPG and that's fine. But there's no denying, guys. Stuff like this is why people call stuff woke. I know a lot of people don't like that term. Oh, you just sound like a lunatic saying woke this, woke that. No, it's stuff like this is called woke because it's enforcing it. Have the option to not have it. And again, you can like or dislike Dr. Disrespect. You can like or dislike HeelvsBabyface or Geeks and Gamers or whoever. Personally, for me, I'm a fan of their content. I agree with a lot of what they say. Was the rant a little bit over the top? Sure, but that's what made it fucking good. That's what caught the attention. And to be honest, he speaks on behalf of a lot of gamers that are afraid to give their opinion and their thoughts. So I gotta respect that. Even if I didn't agree with it or if I agreed with it, you gotta respect somebody putting themselves out there and going off on a rant that's as passionate as they did in regards to a video game. Yeah, it's just a video game and people shouldn't, it's a first world problem and I wish my life was so easy that pronouns in a game. Come on, all right? It's funny because people forget what triggers them and sets them off. We're all different as individuals. And I don't understand why when somebody has something that's different that goes against the grain of modern ideology, it's always some kind of weird backlash that people try to do this whole witch hunt against. This whole echo chamber of, oh, let's go against this guy because it's not inclusive and this and that. No, all right? Fuck off with that. For as much as people want to say who the fuck cares, move on, it's just a video game, being willfully ignorant is also a problem in today's society. And the fact that people that speak their mind and give individual thought get targeted is a fucking issue that needs to be addressed. A lot bigger than what pronouns in a video game are. So to anybody out there that wants to refund a game because of something in it, whether it's Hogwarts Legacy and people think that J.K. Rowling is transphobic, or Starfield and people think pronouns are cringe, have at it. That's your choice. That is your choice as a consumer to choose what you want. Don't just consume like they live and say, you know what, it's just a video game. No, speak your mind. Choose with your wallet, choose with your opinion. Don't be afraid. At the end of the day, it is just video games, and that's why you shouldn't attack other people for their opinion on it. that's just my thoughts. I'll see you guys later.